Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional lands of the Catawba, Sugaree, and Kiowa people. We honor them. My name is Robin Mara, and I'm worship assistant today for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all our visitors and members, we're very glad you're here in person or with us online, and we hope to see you again. Your presence is a gift to us. We have some announcements for this Sunday. Our church will have the annual Interfaith Thanksgiving dinner with our friends at John Calvin Presbyterian Church this Wednesday, November 20th at 6 p.m. at the Salisbury Gathering. Please bring a non-pork dish to share, and we'll also take an offering for a local family who has immigrated from Syria. And we hope you noticed our holiday giving tree in the foyer with lots of tags hanging from its branches. Our social action team and Piedmont Progressive Preschool organized this, and together we hope to provide gifts for 28 children, sponsored by Compassion Closet. You can take a tag today or next Sunday, shop for your chosen child's wish, and return the gifts by December 8th at the latest. Thanks for helping make the holidays a special treat for everyone. And for other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service, or if you're on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this time, we welcome you. May you find something you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
Now, as we prepare to light our chalice today, I'd like to remind us of the history of the UU Chalice. Now, we do have a couple new members joining at the end of our service, and one thing we do in our new member classes is talk about how the chalice came to be such, the primary symbol for our church. It goes back to World War II. The Unitarian Service Committee was very active. There was one open port in Nazi Europe, and that was in Lisbon, Portugal. And so the Unitarian Service Committee was actively working to help refugees who were primarily Jewish flee this area for their freedom and to leave Europe. Part of the work they were doing was creating papers, new documents for them so that they could leave Europe. The head of the USC decided the papers needed some kind of symbol to help make them look more official. And so he commissioned a Jewish refugee artist, Hans Dutch, to create this. He created the symbol of the flaming chalice that has become the symbol of our church. A light born out of the oppression and the darkness of World War II. A light that symbolizes freedom, love, and a way forward in our world. As we light our chalice today, let us remember it is a symbol of the light in darkness, resistance in the face of oppression, and hope for the future. I invite you now to please join me in singing the words to lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our call to worship, which is found in your bulletin. Let us all now join in saying this together. We come together this morning celebrating the divine light within each and every person. We give thanks for each unique individual, and we work towards a more just world where all people are adored and loved. We especially give thanks for the Trailblazers who have inspired and encouraged our queer siblings and have shown us the way to journey forward in love. Blessed be. Our opening hymn is found in our gray hymnal, number 295, Sing Out Praises for the Journey. Please be seated. And I invite any of our young ones to please come forward and join Miss Madia.
Good morning. How are you today? Good. How are you? Good. Well, today I want to talk to you about flags and how they represent people. Can you think of any flags? Can you name any flags? The American flag is a good one. How about any others? Can you think of any others? The Mexican flag is another good one. So there's all of these flags in the world, and flags are used to represent people. So we have the American flag. What do you think that represents? Do you think it might represent America and us as Americans? We have the North Carolina flag, which represents our state. And some people are represented by the pride flag. So I'm going to tell you the story about our pride flag here, okay? So in 1976, there was an artist. What? Does that seem like a long time ago to you? She immediately went, what? So in 1976, way before you were born, there was an artist, and his name was Gilbert Baker. And he, as a gay man, looked around at all of his friends who came from a bunch of different backgrounds, and they were all very different and all very talented and beautiful people. And he realized they were kind of like a rainbow because they were all different, but they were all the same on the inside. So he thought, I need to make a flag that represents us as a group of people. And he decided to use this rainbow because the rainbow represents hope. And he wanted to give his friends and his community a feeling of hope, that the hard work that they have been pushing for equal rights and to be treated fairly would come. So we have this pride flag. But sometimes we need to listen to the people in our community and about what they need. And sometimes our symbols need to change a little bit. So in 2018, A different artist named Daniel Quasar created this new flag because there were a lot of people, even in the LGBT community, that didn't feel like they were represented by this flag. They felt there were parts of their identity that weren't being seen, and so this new artist, they created a different flag. So it took this original rainbow flag, and they added some more colors to represent some more people. And this is something that we're going to continue talking about later today, because we are all, as a whole big group, all three of you, plus me, plus Miss Diane, plus Miss Sue, plus Miss Katie, we're all gonna go across the hallway into the RE classroom, and you're gonna get to create your own flag with colors and symbols and pictures that represent you. What are you gonna put on your flag, Harley?
I think I could put on gold.
Gold and some yellow. That's very nice. What about you?
Rainbow.
Rainbows. What about you?
I can put rainbows on too.
You're also going to do rainbows. What about you?
Rainbows too.
Rainbows too. I think we're going to have a bunch of really beautiful flags when we're done with this. What do you think? Yeah, so let's all go across the hall so we can continue talking about flags and how they represent people. Ready? Let's go.
I really thought Harley was going to put cars all over his flag, but so it's been his favorite thing for some time. So at this time, we are entering into a time for ritual and sacred sharing, time where we share joys and sorrows, concerns, and milestones. And so for the candles we light this week, we light a candle for Thanksgiving for all our LGBTQIA plus Trailblazers. And we light a candle for the love and support of all queer people. We light a candle for everyone impacted by the recent hurricanes and the ongoing recovery effort. For the immediate relief of the people of Gaza. For all areas of violence around the world, including Haiti, the Sudan, the Middle East, and the war in Ukraine. We light a candle for our country, that we may be filled with love and compassion and continue to work for justice for all people. Now, at this time, you are invited to come forward as you feel called to do so. I invite you to come forward along the far wall. We have our prayer stand, and you may fill out a prayer card to place on that stand. You may light your own candle of joy or concern, or you may place a stone in our shared water. Come forward as you wish to do so. We now light a few more candles for the things we hold in our hearts, which remain unspoken, and also for those who are joining us virtually to honor what is in their hearts as well. Now, at this time, we will have a period of quiet meditation. And during this time, I invite you to settle more fully into your seat, to take some deep breaths, let your body relax, feel connected to the ground below you, and aware of your breath, the slow and gentle breathing in and breathing out. And as we sit during this time of silence, I invite you to imagine one of your ancestors. Now, it might be someone that you knew in your life, a parent or grandparent, or it might be someone who has been important for you, someone that was a great teacher or visionary, someone who's inspired you throughout your life. Imagine that that person is standing behind you and has placed one hand on your shoulder, a connection of support, inspiration, and hope for the future. And so let us sit in silence and feel that connection with the trailblazer, the inspiration, the ancestor who has gone before us and continues to encourage us for the days ahead. sorry, I was ready.
Always good to be ready.
Yes.
Today's wisdom reading is We Answer the Call of Love by Julia Corbett-Hemeyer. In the face of hate, we answer the call of love. In the face of exclusion, we answer the call of inclusion. In the face of homophobia, we answer the call of LGBTQ rights. In the face of racism, we answer the call of justice for all races. In the face of xenophobia, we answer the call of pluralism. In the face of misogyny, we answer the call of women's rights. In the face of demagoguery, we answer the call of reason. In the face of religious intolerance, we answer the call of diversity. In the face of narrow nationalism, we answer the call of global community. In the face of bigotry, we answer the call of open-mindedness. In the face of despair, we answer the call of hope. As Unitarian Universalists, we answer the call of love, now more than ever.
As part of our identification as a welcoming community in the UUA community, we have 2 Sundays a year, at least 2 Sundays a year, where we highlight LGBTQIA plus concerns, issues, individuals, ways that we can help celebrate and help call us to move forward as an ongoing welcoming community. When we have these 2 services a year, I always work with our wonderful Rainbow group so that we plan these. And our Rainbow group consists of people who are part of the LGBTQIA plus community and also allies who feel it's important that they want to continue to be supportive and to be connected. So for today's message, we have members of our Rainbow group who will be sharing and highlighting about 3 trailblazers from this community. It is so important for us, especially today, to remember, to uncover, and to remember history that has been forgotten or even intentionally hidden. It is in remembering this history that we know more fully who we are as a people, who we are called to be, who we want to be. So that the members of our Rainbow group who will come forward, and I'll just invite them when it's time for them to come forward. Eric will speak first, and then Allie, and then Sue.
Good morning. Good morning. We think about, when we talk about trailblazers, I think we often think about the past, right? People in the past who have done important things to help forward whatever cause they were trailblazing for. And those stories are very important, but those stories also get told a lot. So as one of the not younger members of the LGBT community, I wanted to focus on somebody who's working now and doing the work to push us forward that next step. And I think some of you may know who I'm going to talk about after this. Rich, or let me bring this up. Bring that down. Girls like boys do. Nothing new. That was a snippet from Haley Kiyoko's enormously successful breakout single from 2015, Girls Like Girls. And when I say enormously successful, the video for that song has over 157 million views just on YouTube. Kyoko has said in interviews that this song is about her early struggles to accept her identity as a lesbian. She said while she understood that she liked girls as early as age 6, it took years for her to fully accept her orientation, and that part of the drive behind her career is to help normalize that queer people exist and are just like everybody else. Shock, I know. So other girls won't have to go through some of the painful process of self-acceptance that she did. A side note, her fans have given her the nickname Lesbian Jesus for some of the work that I'm about to talk about. She was born in 1991. She's a queer activist and obviously out lesbian. She's also an actor, musician, and writer who has won awards in all 3 fields. She began acting in commercials around age 5 and went on to perform in a number of TV shows and movies throughout her childhood and early teens. During this time, she also made music on the side with a couple of short-lived groups before taking her career solo in 2013 with her first digital EP. A second EP, which featured the song we just heard, was released in 2015. 2 more EPs and 2 full studio albums have followed so far. She's toured with Justin Bieber and Panic at the Disco, and was named in the Forbes magazine 30 Under 30 Trailblazers list as someone to watch. On a fun personal note, she came to Charlotte as part of her tour in 2015, just before her career really took off, playing an all-ages show at a little bar near the downtown Central Piedmont campus. I took my daughter and one of her friends to see that show. I'd guess there were around 40 or 50 very excited teen and tween girls, plus a group of us parents sitting in the back. Now she plays arenas. Girls Like Girls was also on the playlist I made and played on endless repeat as I worked on my unpublished queer young adult novel at around that same time. In 2023, Haley released a young adult novel of her own, also titled Girls Like Girls, that expanded on the story from the song and the accompanying video. It debuted at #1 in the New York Times YA bestseller list and remained there for 7 weeks. The book also received a Goldie Award in the young adult category from the Golden Crown Literary Society, a national literary organization devoted to promoting sapphic literature, defined as works written by and or for lesbian, bisexual, and other queer and women-loving women, explicitly including trans women. Her success and highly public persona put her squarely in the vanguard of the current wave of successful openly queer musicians, including such popular artists as Lil Nas X, Janelle Monáe, Orville Peck, who recorded a duet with Willie Nelson, covering an old gay country song, Cowboys Are Frequently Secretly Fond of Each Other, and most recently Chappell Roan, who received 5 Grammy nominations this year as a debut artist for her very gay and very successful album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. These are all very talented performers in their own rights, of course, but I think it's safe to say they all owe at least some of their success to the doors that Haley helped to open. Thank you.
Hello. The great blues singer Gladys Bentley broke all the rules. In 1934, a Midtown Manhattan nightclub called King's Terrace was padlocked by the police after an observer complained of the dirty songs performed there. The After Theater Club near Broadway was where a troupe of liberally painted male sapiens with effeminate voices and gestures performed behind entertainer Gladys Bentley, who was no less provocative for early 20th century America. Performing in a signature white top hat, tuxedo, and tails, Bentley sang raunchy songs laced with double entendres that thrilled and scandalized her audiences. And while the performance of what an observer called a masculine-garbed, smut-singing entertainer led to the shutdown of King's Terrace, Bentley's powerful voice, fiery energy on the piano, and bold lyrics still made her a star of New York City nightclubs. Her name doesn't have the same recognition as many of her Harlem Renaissance peers, in part because the risque nature of her performances would have kept her out of mainstream venues, newspapers, and history books. Today, though, Bentley's story is resurfacing, and she is seen as an African-American woman who is ahead of her time for proudly loving other women, wearing men's clothes, and singing bawdy songs. Portraits of Bentley are now held in the music collections of the African American History Museum, where the performer is both a face of the Harlem Renaissance and an example of a woman who, on her own terms, navigated the entertainment business during the Great Depression and Prohibition eras. Despite the challenges Bentley likely encountered in New York's entertainment business, it is no surprise that she moved to Harlem. As someone who wrote about feeling attracted to women and being comfortable in men's clothes from an early age, Bentley likely would have found more acceptance in a community that was home to other sexually fluid entertainers, like Bessie Smith and Ethel Waters. Historian Henry Louis Gates Jr. even described the Harlem Renaissance as being surely as gay as it was black. Bentley was not the first to sing raunchy music, but she was still breaking barriers by pushing the boundaries of public taste in a way that would have been much more suitable for a man to do. As a singer, Bentley became known for a deep, growling voice and a trumpet-like scat. As a performer, she was advertised by event promoters as a male impersonator, and she filled venues with loud, rowdy performances in which she would flirt with women in the audience. Langston Hughes praised Bentley as an amazing exhibition of musical energy, a large, dark, masculine lady whose feet pounded the floor while her fingers pounded the keyboard, a perfect piece of African sculpture animated by her own rhythm. Bentley's fame was a product of being both a gifted singer and an adept provocateur. Her shocking lyrics were accompanied by gossip column stories that readers would have found equally shocking. Gladys Bentley had told the gossip columnist that she had just gotten married. The gossip columnist asked, "Well, who's the man?" And she scoffed and said, "Man, it's a woman." The rumored marriage had all the makings of an early 20th century scandal. Bentley claimed that not only was it a same-sex civil ceremony, but that the union was between herself and a white woman. While there is no record of that union taking place, the story is still a glimpse into Bentley's unapologetic openness about her sexual orientation and her acute understanding of the power of shock value. In 1960, after a lifetime as a popular entertainer and a woman who lived on the fringes in a world that wasn't ready to accept her, Gladys Bentley succumbed to pneumonia. Today, she is being rediscovered for the same reason that her story was obscured during her youth. Gladys Bentley should be remembered for being a gender outlaw. She was just as defiant in who she was, and for gender and sexuality studies today, she shows the performance of gender. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to read a contemporary story about a woman who had a hero and trailblazer right next to her, and she just didn't realize it. This was published this year in the Reader's Digest, and here's her story. Titled, "I was afraid to tell my grandmother I was gay. Her reaction left me speechless," by Catherine Smyka. For years, I lived in fear that my conservative grandmother would discover I was gay. Once she did, the reality warmed my heart. For a long time in my family, there was an understanding that my grandmother refused to watch the Ellen DeGeneres show because the host was a lesbian. She used to say, "The nerve of that woman, being all gay in public like that." And there was an unspoken pact among my relatives not to tell my grandmother that I was a lesbian. My uncle had said, "She's pretty old already, so you should just, wait it out until she passes away." And it became kind of a family joke. Don't tell Grandma that Catherine's gay. Here's life before coming out to my grandmother. In college, I had this rainbow bracelet that I used to take off when I went into Grandma's house, even though I knew she wouldn't get what that meant. Sometimes she'd walk into the kitchen and I'd be telling someone a story about a girl I was dating, and I would tone it down and say, "Oh, she's such a nice friend." It was exhausting, though. The coming out process didn't feel very freeing if I was keeping secrets. The challenge with my grandmother was nerve-wracking, but she and I had that in common because she was no stranger to challenges. She'd moved all the way across the country to be with her husband, who ended up dying really early, and she raised 12 kids, mostly by herself. She never finished high school. I didn't want to be another one of those challenges because I thought, having a queer granddaughter, what are you going to do with that? Whenever we hung out, I was a wreck. It was late summer, about 2 years after coming out, and a bunch of people were at Grandma's house, and the summer had been long and wonderful and full of this new woman I was dating who I loved so much. I was sitting on the back porch, smiling and thinking about her. Grandma came outside, and I think we were talking about how my younger sister was about to get her driver's license, which is already a terrifying thing. And then I asked her about how she and my grandfather met. It's a story I've heard 1 billion times, but I love hearing it again. She got this smile, and she was talking about what Grandpa was like in his early 20s and about their slightly sneaky courtship. She basically conned a priest into setting her up on a date with my grandfather, which I thought was adorable and hilarious. She has great stories, but mostly I love watching her talk about him. I can tell that she still remembers exactly how his hand used to fit in hers and the intensity of his scent. He smelled like pipe tobacco and mint. It's been over 2 decades since he passed away, and I know that she's thought of him every day. And she was telling me about him on the back porch that day. She said, "He was the best man I know, so you need to find yourself someone like that, someone who will love you and respect you and tell you you're beautiful, someone to bring home to meet family for family dinner." Without thinking, I said, "Well, I think I already have, Grandma." And then I was like, oh no, I said that out loud. I thought to myself, I don't know what to do. What is going to happen? I'm a lesbian. She's going to kill me. And she said, "Is he a nice boy?" And I said, "Yes, she's a very nice lady." And the two of us looked at each other for a very long time. I have no idea what's running through her head, but mine was going something like, "Why are you still sitting here? Run, she's actually going to kill you." Then she reached over and patted my hand and said, "Well, you tell her to come around anytime, all right?" And I was like, "What?" I looked over, and she had a smile on her face that meant she was thinking of my grandpa. She said, "You're my granddaughter, and I love you so much. You should know that there will always be a place at my dinner table for you and whomever you love." I wanted to cry and to hug her, and I also wanted to make sure she knew what I was telling her, that I was gay, like, to be clear. But she just kept looking at me and patting my hand, and so I said, "Thank you." And since then, Grandma is the first to reprimand anyone who tells a gay joke. My uncles are actually the worst offenders, and when someone says, like, "Okay, so a queer walks into a bar," she is the first to slap him upside the head and tell him to cut it out. Every once in a while, I will even see the Ellen DeGeneres show playing in the living room. Nice story.
Thank you so much, Eric and Allie and Sue, for sharing with us this morning. I think these different stories we've heard, just a taste of so many trailblazers, can encourage us to be trailblazers ourselves in so many different ways and the perspectives that we are coming from and who we are. Last week, we talked and focused about what it meant to lead with love. To lead with love. And that's what a trailblazer does. They love themselves and they love others. And they go forth and they lead and help change the world for the better with that. We give thanks for all the trailblazers who have come before us, who are currently operating in the world, and we give thanks that we too have that divine spark within us which leads us to be trailblazers for others.
Thank you, Anne. Now, let there be an offering to sustain this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of that dream. This month, we're sharing our offering plate with Hearts for the Invisible. Hearts for the Invisible's mission is to eradicate housing inequities for people experiencing homelessness. Their vision is that everyone has equal access to dignified housing. We ask that you place your gift in the baskets as they make their way around the room, and you're always welcome to give online at puuc.org or by texting the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received.
We give thanks for all your generous gifts, which continue to help us spread love throughout this world. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, found in your gray hymnal, number 170, We Are Gentle, Angry People, and we will sing all 6 verses. I invite everyone to be seated. And we have two people join the church, Carol and Kim, if you'll come forward, and also our membership team, if you'll come forward and help with this part of our service. So, our membership team always helps as we are incorporating new people into our church family. And I always appreciate their work. So, Carol and Kim have gone through the Pathways to Membership course. They have learned about UU history and theology. They've explored the basic tenets of the spiritual journey and how that applies to them individually. And we've also had individual conversations about what it means to join this church. And they are committing to support our church community with their time, talents, and treasures. So, our first new member here, Kim. Some of you will recognize Kim because Kim used to be a member a few years ago, and we are so thrilled that she is back with us. Kim is originally from Iowa and moved to Charlotte in 2010. Kim was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, and then with her second career, she graduated in May of 2020, which I think we all remember May of 2020. Such an accomplishment to do that, with a nursing degree. So Kim works as a nurse. Yes, absolutely. Kim works as a nurse with an agency which places her with families who have a child dependent on a ventilator so the child can live at home. What a wonderful ministry that is. And then Carol, beside her here. Carol, also known as CC, recently moved to Charlotte from Massachusetts. So they both wanted to escape really bad weather. So, here we are. And she retired from a 35-year career with Boston Children's Hospital. Now, Carol has one son with a wonderful family that includes two awesome grandchildren. They're still in Massachusetts for now. I think she's working on them. So, Carol is a Reiki master and is also active in other holistic practices involving sound and energy work. I know we have other people who connect with that here, so you'll want to talk to Carol. So, some of her favorite things are creating art, enjoying live theater, and finding beautiful new places to explore. And she's looking forward to getting to know more people in this area and with shared interest. Oh, I forgot to mention, y'all have your bulletin with our insert because we have our, if some couple of y'all can hand Carol and Kim one. So, thank you. And for everyone, we have our insert with this part of the service. So today we welcome into our community these new members who have chosen to make a commitment to this congregation by signing our membership book, which they will do in a few moments, our beautiful book we have over here on the table. And they commit to support our church through their time, talents, and treasures. Carol and Kim, we are so glad to have you here with us and that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life journeys. Will you accept our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique perspective and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalist people who spread hope with our living faith? And will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? We will. Good. Congregation, you also have a responsibility today. Will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? We will. Let us say together our covenant of purpose and right relations as each one of us here renews our commitment to our church community. We encourage and support individual freedom of religious beliefs for all. We share in the loving ministry each for the other, and thereby provide for our emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. We are dedicated to providing religious education for our children, which will enhance the positive worth of each child. We will strive towards social responsibility with the purpose of strengthening an individual commitment to self, congregation, and community. We will seek the truth to enlighten and acknowledge human accomplishments and possibilities. And now our covenant of right relations. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its prayer. We covenant to honor all spiritual paths with hospitality, to assume the best of one another from our highest selves, to dwell together in peace through kindness, and to serve others with compassion, honoring one another as members of beloved community. Now we welcome you so much, officially part of our family. We have these cute little mini chalices that we give to our members, so you can use these at home. And our membership team will, I'll just hand you that now. Our membership team will guide you over to sign our membership book. And I encourage everyone after the service to please come up and welcome Carol and Kim. So thank you. Y'all want to sign the book? Okay. Okay, and I'm sorry. sorry. A couple more things to say. Carol and Kim, Elaine's going to take your picture after the service too, individually, so we can have that for our directory. So, now before we extinguish our chalice, I want to offer thanks for all the many volunteers who helped make our service possible. And we also ask before you leave today if you can take the hymnals and place them on the cart near the piano. That's a big help for us. So let us do as we do each Sunday and take a few moments to give thanks, either in our hearts or with words, for the things we are grateful for today. Yes, so thankful for our Rainbow Group and your wonderful leadership today. New members. Yes.
I'm thinking of the gratitude of the members of the church some years ago worked on this year to establish a welcoming congregation and trust into lead the way community of welcoming congregations. And there are several members who were part of that. That was quite an effort.
Absolutely. For those live streaming, just thankful for the members of our community who initiated that process for us to be a welcoming congregation years ago.
I'm grateful for having lived free in this wonderful country of ours, and I hope we're all joining together to be strong for the next 4 years.
Yeah, grateful that we all can join together and be strong during this time. Yes.
I'm thankful for Teen Rebellion.
I am too.
Because my granddaughter is rebelling against her. But also that whole welcoming congregation thing that happened was because of some Teen Rebellion.
All right. Yeah. Kat is grateful for Teen Rebellion, and amen to that. I was very fortunate to be an international college student conference many years ago, and Archbishop Desmond Tutu was the primary speaker, and he said, every major social change that's happened in the world has started with teenagers and young adults. So, absolutely. Well, we are so grateful for all these things and so much more that we hold in our hearts today. We will go, let us stand, actually, and let us go forth giving thanks for all the trailblazers that we celebrate today, and let us commit again to living in unity with their inspiration. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we may wander. Now for our closing song, we form a circle. You may hold hands if you would like to, or you may simply place your hands on your heart.